folks, and welcome to another episode of Jeffco Spotlight. I'm your host today, Tim Boehme, and with me is Rebecca Ellison, a fellow associate professor, if I might. I think we both became associate profs at almost exactly the same time.
Yes, it was probably the same day.
Very same day. Anyway, we're here today to talk about Rebecca's upcoming production, Rabbit Hole. Ta-ding! And it's a play that's going to be performed on campus on, March
5th, 6th, and 7th.
Okay, and what are the times again?
On March 5th is our matinee at 10 a.m.
Right.
And then on March 6th and 7th, it's at 8 o'clock each evening.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about the plot of Rabbit Hole.
The plot deals with a married couple that has 8 months previous lost their only child. Mm-hmm. He ran out into the street chasing their dog and was hit by a car. And so it deals with how these two people are trying to figure out how to cope with this loss. And I find it really interesting because I know how I deal with grief and how other people do, two very different things. Mm-hmm. And so it's an interesting perspective to look at it from the view of a married couple, because not only they're dealing with the loss of their child, but these two happen to deal with the grief in very different ways. And so they kind of butt heads a little bit, and so it puts a strain on their marriage. Okay. And then we also get to meet the wife's mother, who is a very interesting personality herself, and also the wife's sister, who, once again, complete opposite to her sister. And then the last character is the young man who hit their child.
Okay, well, we're going to, a little bit later in the show, talk a little bit more about it and some of the actors that are involved in the production. But part of what we want to do here today is tell the community a little bit more about Rebecca Ellison, your background, kind of whatever you want to share about how you got interested in drama, what you teach here at Jeffco, that sort of thing.
Okay. What would you like to know first?
Well, let's go with let's deal with those students who are feverishly planning out their fall semester or whatever of classes. What do you teach here at Jeffco?
Well, they'll definitely want to sign up for either my oral communication class or my public speaking. Although it's a little difficult to get them into the public speaking class.
Really?
Well.
Oh, you mean
most people
who cattle prodded into?
Well, yeah, I mean most people who sign up for it, it's because it's required for their major.
Right.
Not a lot of people choose it because they're like, ooh, I really want to speak in public.
I want to face my greatest fear.
Yeah. Oh. 5 times, because you have 5 speeches. So sometimes, it's not something that fills up very quickly, but usually once I get them in there, they do really well.
Yeah, I was never, in high school, I was always kind of fearful of it, but once I actually did it, it was...
Oh, and they always do fine. Yeah. They just have to get over that first hurdle, and then they're okay.
My students, sometimes I just have them in an English class just do a brief little presentation, and it's like, for like 1 minute, I'm like, I'm not going to judge it as a speech. Don't worry about it. But okay, so how does that tie into then with what you do with the dramas here, directing dramas?
Well, my degree is in speech communication, both my bachelor's and my master's. And so I don't teach the drama classes. Those are taught by Jane Sullivan and Wes Robertson. However, I have a lot of experience in theater since I've been performing since I was 10 years old, and in community theater in high school and then beyond. And I started directing when I was 24 when I taught high school. So my experience allows me to then direct in the theater department.
Yeah, okay. By the way, this is kind of just an aside, but I was Harry Pepper in Barefoot in the Park.
Why have you never auditioned for me?
I know. And then I was a stage manager for Winnie the Pooh, so that
hey, there
I
you
think
go.
that ended my career when he jumped off the stage and he had a balloon and it like popped on a nail that was sticking out of the wall. So that was a weird production. Anyway,
most are.
So is there any kind of common themes in the plays you direct?
No, I always. Well, when I first started, I chose things I was very familiar with because, being a director is very hard. Yes, you're not on the stage and you're not memorizing lines, but you are dealing with every other aspect to make sure that what the audience sees is the best possible performance ever. And so when I first started directing, I chose shows I had been in previously. Like the very first show I ever directed was called Up the Down Staircase by Belle Kaufman. And I had been in that when I was in high school. So I was already familiar, and actually my father was the one who directed my performance in high school. So I had him to lean on too, because I was 24 years old and brand new high school teacher, and so I related to the character very well, and so I did that as my first show. Since then I've tried to choose things that I think the audience will enjoy, as well as things that will challenge me as a director. One of the most challenging shows I've ever done is called Noises Off. And it's 3 acts. The first act is the rehearsal of a show the night before it's supposed to go up. And it's hilarious because nobody knows their lines, people are coming in wrong, one actor's drunk, and it's just, it's hodgepodge. The second act, you actually can do one of 2 things. We turned our set around. Other theaters I've seen do it move the whole audience, because you watch the second act backstage. So there's no dialogue. You're watching them as they prepare to go on, and you're just hearing what's happening out on the stage, but you're actually seeing all the backstage things, and people hate each other and they're sabotaging one another backstage. And then the third act, you turn it back around, and it's their very last performance when no one cares at this point. And so it was the most challenging thing for me to direct not speaking. Trying to get them to do everything physically. And they're running up and down staircases and flying through doors. And so I love things like that. I love things that make me work harder to get the best performance.
That sounds interesting. So with the second part, it was because they're all trying to stay quiet backstage.
Exactly, exactly, because it's just as if you were backstage in a show. You don't talk backstage, and that's one of the hardest things.
Can you whisper?
No.
Oh, really? Wow.
No. This is what actors don't understand. You have to be quiet backstage, because if you're not, things carry. You just be amazed at what you can hear. And also, a lot of times that means you're distracted. And so you're missing cues to go on stage, or you're wandering around somewhere where the audience can potentially see you acting like a fool. And so it is one of the things I have to work very hard on with my actors, to be quiet.
Okay, well, speaking of your actors, let's tell the folks a little bit more about your actors in Rabbit Hole.
Okay. There are 5 characters, so 5 performers. One of them, Logan Brown, is playing Howie, which is the husband. Logan and I have worked together, almost since I started at Jeffco almost 9 years ago. So we have done numerous shows together. He was the King in The King and I, and he was the dentist in Little Shop of Horrors, and he has extraordinary range, so he is a wonderful addition to any cast.
Cool.
Jane Sullivan, who is a professor of speech and drama here at Jeffco, and retiring this June. And so she is performing in this show, and I had to beg her to do it. When I read the part, I just knew it was right for her, and she would be absolutely wonderful in it. And I knew she was retiring, and I thought, you haven't been on stage in a long time. Get back out there. And so she's doing it, and she's phenomenal. Talk about range. She takes this character in so many directions, and it's amazing to watch. And it's so cool because we've worked together. I did a show with her when I did a monologue in one of her shows once, but that's really been the extent of our working together like this, and so it's really different, and I love it. I'm learning from her, and so I really enjoy that. The other 3 actors, let's see, Madeline, she is playing Becca, the wife, and she and I had not worked together before, and I've really enjoyed working with her. This is a very emotionally challenging role, and she has just done phenomenally with it. And then Brianna, she and I worked together on the monologues last fall, so I knew just a little bit, but this is one of her first plays, because doing the monologues wasn't a full production. And so this is her first play. She's done musicals. She's a beautiful singer, just beautiful. And so this is exciting to watch her figuring all of this out and working with her. And then Kyle, he plays Jason, who is the young man who unfortunately hit their child. And I had not worked with him either. And I had seen him performing Godspell, once again, another beautiful singer, and so enjoying working him as an actor. And he's doing a great job too.
Well, it sounds like an exciting production, and we invite you all to come check it out at Jefferson College. And the dates again are?
March 5th, 6th, and 7th. On the 5th, it's our matinee.
Okay.
And so it's $1 for everybody, and it's at 10 o'clock in the morning. And then on the 6th and 7th, it's at 8 o'clock. And the 6th, actually, the foundation is doing a dinner.
Oh.
And we're having dinner and theater, and that's through the Jefferson College Foundation. And I will be speaking to everyone about the author, David Lindsay Abaire.
Great. Okay. Well, hope you all come and check out Rabbit Hole at Jefferson College. Thanks.